Hello guys, welcome back to another tutorials on Rxjava. Today we will take a look at take operators and its variants in Rxjava. As you could recall, the last time we had a tutorial, we talked about skip operators, which is exactly the opposite of take operator we are coming to talk about today. Today, I would like to talk about take operator, take last operator, take while operator, and finally take until operator. In the last video, as I can compare again, we had skip operator, skip last, skip while, and skip until operator. So that's the reason why I always say the take is just the opposite of skip operator. So first of all, let's start with the take operator. Assuming we have our data set like one we have below, from 1 ranging from 1 to 19, and we are just not interested in the rest of the data or all the data set. We are just interested in a portion of data set. But this time around, instead of skipping, we just want to take a part of the data according to the number specified in the data and the take function. In this instance, let's take a look at example. So we have example here, take operator. And as I said, we are trying to create an observable with from array, and it is an operator I covered in my tutorials, create observable operators used in creating observables. From array is also part of it. If you do not have understanding of this, you could go back and watch my last videos. You have understanding. So the from array will just give you an observables of your array. So in this instance, if you want to take the first 5 elements from your data, all that you could do is just take, you use the function take, then you pass 5 as a parameter. When you run this, you could see that it will give, or it will emit elements starting from 1 up to 5. Let's take a look. Now, should we run this? Let's run this and see the output we get. Exactly. So here we go. We are getting 1 up to 5 from our data set. So that's all about the take operator. Now let's go ahead and have a look at using take last operator. With the take last operator, then again, it conforms to the meaning of take, but then as I always put it, as a variant of take operator. This is also an operator that helps you to get the last, or helps you to grab the last k items in your observables. So for instance, we are using the same preamble. This is our data set, and we want to take the last 5 of this data set. All that we could do is use the take last. These are very easy to understand examples, and the operator is also easy to understand. So using the take last operator, with this we are going to expect an output ranging from 14 up to 19, or ranging from 15 up to 19. So that gives us the last 5. Exactly, this is what we have. And after this, we can also talk about take while operator. With a take while operator, this is a variant of take operator. Okay, and it takes a predicate test or a specified condition. So with a take while operator, it only emits data set from the source observable until the predicate test or the specified condition remains false. And this is what I mean. When we want to use the take while operator, it takes a predicate test. So the predicate test actually is the condition. Actually, it's just the condition. So we return, let's return all the integer. Return integer, not 4. Not 4. So as I said, this is the condition. So it will keep on taking the elements emitted by the source observable until the condition remains false. Okay, so 1, it will emit 1 as is the first item in the data set. It will emit 1. It checks with the condition. Now the 1 is not 4, so it will emit it, or it will allow it. It will emit 2, then 3 and 4. Now the 4 doesn't match with our condition. Now from this point onwards, the condition remains false, so it will just emit from 1 up to 3. As simple as that. So let's run this and see what it gives us. Yes, and we are having 1, 2 and 3, as I said. Now let's try to use the example, or let's try to talk about the take until operator. With the take until operator, as I've been saying in my previous videos, whenever we are using timer operators, the Java, like, it stops. It doesn't help you track the timer. So mostly I go back to the Android. So let's use our Android to talk about the take until operator. Now I will try to use the same example I use in the skip until operator for us to have better understanding. So with the take until operator, so this is an operator. So mostly it works with 2 operators. So the first observable will be emitting the items. So what will happen is, with the take until operator, it will allow the first observable to emit the items until the second observable starts its emission. Then it will stop, or it will terminate the emission of the first observable. And this is what I mean. This is considering this item from 1, ranging from 1 up to 19 to be the data set. Now if you are to allow the items within this operator that from array to emit, it will just finish within some milliseconds. We do not want that. What do we want us to do? So we want to emit each of the items at an interval of 1 second. With that in mind, so I try to use another set of operator called zip with. So I try to combine this emission with a timer at an interval of 1 second, meaning every 1 second an item will be emitted. So let's now, with this example, let's try to use the take until operator. So with the take until operator, this takes a second observable, and this is our second observable, the timer, and it's trying to delay the emission. It's trying to delay the emission. Actually, yes. So it's trying to delay the emission after 6 seconds. So this is what will happen. Now 1 will take 1 second to emit, 2 will take 1 second to emit. The same applies to 3 and so forth. Okay, so as per the definition of the take until, it will allow the first it will allow the observables or the items emitted by the first observable until the second operator, which is the timer, starts its emission. So now we are delaying for 6 seconds before the second observable to start its emission. So before that, before the second observable will start the emission, it has emitted from 1 up to 5. Then it will terminate the emission. So let's quickly run this to see our example. Okay, so let's run this if you are running this, okay, so the app is running. Let's see the output that it will give it to us. Okay, it's running. Okay, few seconds more. Okay, but yes, so it's done running. So let's see, after 1 second, what are we getting? Yes, we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. And that's it. So guys, so this is what I wanted to talk about in this video, the take operators and its variants. So as we clearly saw, this is just an opposite of skip operator, and we can combine these operators in our scenarios. We have a lot of Rxjava operators, and I will entreat you to take a look, like master the operators. They might seem confusing, but as you try your hands on all the time, you will get your hands on it. And if you're having this is the end of this tutorial, the next tutorial we'll try to talk about throttle. It is a very interesting operator, and I have already covered its counterpart, which is the sample operator. So the opposite of it is the throttle. We are going to have a very nice experience. Watch this video out, and if you haven't subscribed to this tutorial, try to click on the red button below the video so that you can always remain notified of any video that I release. Okay, thank you and have a happy coding.